Give me one serious one. And then cover just, and like look over your, yeah, perfect. And give me like a good dead stare. Put it up a tiny bit more. Perfect.
Looks awesome.
Done. Yay, painless. Okay. So can you tell us why you chose the word boss?
Mm-hmm.
Which I love, by the way. That might be my favorite word so far.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding.
I was struggling trying to find a word, thinking about when I looked up Just Two Girls and when Karen was kind of telling me about it, I was thinking about, okay, this is like fits right into where I'm at in my career. I started on radio just as a plain assistant. Like I was just an assistant answering phone calls, and then slowly I was getting responsibilities added on. An opportunity came up for, basically it's assistant music director. And that is where a lot of DJs that have been in the game for like 10 years want to end up at. And it was one of those where I was working hard, I was already in there, I knew the system, knew music, and was getting to know different people in the music industry. So it kind of fit, and it was one of those things like, okay, let's try it out. Well, once it kind of got word out that I was doing it, it was all these males, because it's a male-dominated industry.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only female. The person that was doing it before, Yes Ortiz, she is no longer doing it, and she told me, she said, it's going to be a struggle because you walk into these meetings or you make these decisions, and sometimes they'll look at you like, wait, what do you know? You know, you're not a DJ, you're not a producer, you just work in the industry.
Yeah.
So I struggled with, you're a female, you haven't been in the radio for so long, you're not a DJ. And there was 3 guys that were trying to get the position before me. And it was just secret. I didn't say anything about it. I didn't say this is what I'm going for. But once it became known, like, I started getting attitude, I started getting disrespectfulness, people were talking over me, or once I started talking in meetings, it was one of those like guys would look this way or just kind of looking around. Wow. And I'll never forget one situation where I sit in an office with our music director, who's E-Man, and one of the guys that was going for this position was talking to him, and E-Man would include me in the conversation, but the guy would not look at me. Like, he was just staring straight, and I'm sitting right where you are. Mm-hmm. And finally I said, hey, I'm in this conversation too. Like, this is my office, I'm sitting in here, so I'd respect if you include me. And he was like, well, you're not in this conversation. Like, I'm talking to him. And at that point it was like, already with females, you struggle with that. You have to kind of be bitchy to get respect, and that's hard, because then they're like, she's bitchy, or she's a bitch, and that's the way she gets respect. So I just, at that moment, I had enough, and I said, you know what, you don't understand how it is for me to walk into meetings or to walk into decision making and knowing that I have everybody looking at me like, who the fuck is this girl, and why does she think she deserves this position? Or I have to make their schedules, they have to report to me saying, oh, I can't mix, or I can do this. Or when it comes to decision making with music, I'm the one that assists with giving them, hey guys, this got added or this didn't. So it was a struggle gaining respect, and we butt heads, and at the end of the day, the guy kind of understood, and he apologized like a week later. At that moment, he didn't apologize at all, but it was one of those when I said, I know that I haven't been in radio for 10 years. I know I'm not a DJ. I know I'm not a producer. I know I haven't been around music for that long, but I have a passion for it, and I know I'm good at it. So I'm not going to let anybody stop me. I don't care if it's a man that's been doing this for 20 years. Like, obviously you haven't grown in life. You haven't done anything. And just because I'm coming up, like, you can't fault me, and especially being a female.
Of course not.
I'm here to stay. So either you're going to respect working with me or you're not. And if you don't, I don't care. Like,
ooh,
I don't need like that's what I said. I don't need your approval. Like, I don't need to have everybody like me. I know that I'm the only female in these meetings, and I've already swallowed that, like, okay, here we go. So
I was actually, it's like one of those super cheesy websites that have like Zimbio or whatever, but I was looking at one the other day, and it was someone edited all of these photos of like kind of high powered business meetings or like government meetings or just like whatever, and they photoshopped all of the men out of the picture And it was really interesting to see. Yeah, it was like stupid, but it was also very interesting to see because it was like one woman in the room or just two women in the room, and it was just crazy, like how men have like dominated everything for the most part,
and the second a woman gets in there,
yeah,
they feel
and how
threatened.
and like how it's like 10 times harder for us to kind of have a voice in those environments.
Oh yeah, even about a month ago, I got sent to a music conference, and I walked in there, and there was like all older men.
Yeah.
So everybody looked at me, and that motivated me more to be like, you know what? Like, I want to be a female. Like, there needs to be more females in every industry. Because if you look at movies, everything, it's like all these older men that dominate, and it's like, I think especially the olderness of it, like these young generation, a lot of the, even in at my company, there's a lot of the people in charge, like the VPs, they're all older, and it's like everybody working under, they're younger, whether it's male, female. Yeah. And I see that there's a struggle between having the older people let the younger people, who are the creative ones and who are the ones that know what's going on, take over, because it's a power struggle, and especially female. It's so interesting seeing the like, we're able to take on so much, and I know there's so much more that we can do, but I don't think people like trust enough, or they think like, oh, she's too sensitive, or she's not strong enough for it. And it's like, no, we are, like, given the chance and given that opportunity, like, you just gotta let us be.
And I think we're even stronger than most men, because we have to work 10 times harder than them to get anything we want in life, which is why it's so frustrating. It's like, do you even know what we have to do to get anywhere? Like, it's just crazy. And especially, I mean, I don't, especially